What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa with a price action update on MULN stock. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video so that we can get this information out to as many people out there who want to learn about the trade. With that said, let's begin. Okay, so we are looking at volatility here represented by this indicator, BBWP. As you can see, we have expanded to critical levels here. We are starting to print red bars. I have not made the back test on the iterations where we have done fully expansive levels. We have only done the fully contractive levels. We will definitely have to take a look at that as well. But we can definitely speculate and we can look at some confirmations right here with momentum paired with BBWP. Okay, so let's look at the price action here. We got the pump that we were looking for, right? Based on this iteration. Now, originally, I felt that this may have been an invalidation of it, but this iteration actually proved to be correct. Now, the move fired off. The signal fired off right down here when we were at fully contractive levels down here. So we ended up making the upside move and rejected. But when we did, we actually moved to the upside, which is typical for it to happen after we fully contract. Now, just so you guys can be able to see, the percentage that we ended up lifting is beyond the mean here. So we're looking at, I mean, arguably it would technically be from the signal fire, so it would be up to here. Okay, so we had a 38.93% to the upside. Our average was actually 43.33%, which is not bad at all. It just, the only thing is that you can be, anyone, including myself, can be actually fooled by looking at this price action going down to the bottom and then hitting the fully expansive move to the upside. But with that said, the iteration is in fact correct, and we did get the move that we were looking for of approximately 43.3%, aka 38.93. All right, so a few key takeaways here that we must consider, because we are in a 12-hour time frame here, and this is a larger time frame, which gives us a little more weight. If you can take a look at this moving average right here, this is the SMA 50, the 50-day simple moving average, and we have found support from it. Now, these two moving averages right here are actually our exponential moving averages, 7-day and 30-day period. So those moving averages are now serving as support as well. And another good thing here is that the 7-day moving average has now moved across and above the 30-day exponential moving average. Excuse me, you guys. That is actually a bullish thing. Down below, we see that we have our SMA 10 coming up, acting as support as well. The resistances we have above are pretty significant. I mean, we're looking at the 100-day and the 200-day over here, which are pretty significant moving averages that can serve absolutely as a type of resistance. Now, the SMA 100 does have it is confluent with our 1 spot 272 at 52 cents. This could be likely an area of resistance and or support. And the reason why I say this is because the 1 spot 618 is right above it, which means that in a bullish case, we can rise to the 1 spot 618 at 61 cents, reject from the 1 spot 618. This is the golden ratio. This is why I say this, and find support at the SMA 100 and 1 spot 272. Fib ratio at 52 cents, 52.58. So that is a potential. It is in the cards. And I say this in a bullish case is because we are at fully expansive levels. These are critical. This is critical percentile for our volatility here, and our 12-hour stochastics momentum is suggesting a continuation to the upside. Now we have crossed into the bullish control zone. It is to its credit, we're approaching the shallow areas of the bull weakness percentile, which means that we're going to jump into the bull strength percentile, in which case we could still continue to the upside. Now, if we just zoom out a little bit and look at our momentum oscillator, we can see that we can still rise to exponential highs. So let's go ahead and just zoom out a lot here and just draw a trend line over the highs that we have for our stochastics momentum oscillator. So you can see right back here we've touched what could be 97%. So this is within a 90 percentile. We're going to draw this trend line and look at it in conjunction to where we're sitting right now. So you can see we're sitting at about 59%, at about 60% stochastics percentage. So we can still make our way all the way up to here and beyond, and eventually sell off. And this is possible is because we are looking at BBWP suggesting volatility coming in soon to either direction. Please remember that BBWP is direction neutral, so we can't be able to decide which way we're going to go unless we pair it with something like the stochastics momentum oscillator. So okay, let's look at some other levels right here. I'm looking at my notes so that we can make sure that we're covering every base. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to our next chart. Okay, so this chart in particular, from our thread of analysis in Twitter, I did not move the chart whatsoever. Everything, all the notes that I have here are still within from a couple days ago. And I'm sorry I actually didn't update as much as I could have today, you guys. It was actually my birthday yesterday, and the family had me a bit occupied, to say the very least. But we're here now, and we're here to make sure that we can have a bias and direction for our last trading session being Friday, tomorrow. Okay, so let's go over what we were talking about here on that thread of analysis in Twitter. As you can see, we talked about the 1.272 at 46 cents being potentially a bull trap zone. Now, I don't usually like to call bull traps within smaller time frames. These are very shallow time frames. I like to call them in larger time frames. So please just, I guess we're just going to call it a bull trap for now, even though it's possibly not. It's just a technical resistance that we used to sell off or to open some short positions in a range trade, right? So, but we're just going to call it a bull trap for now. So we called a bull trap at 46 cents. Unfortunately, the bull trap did happen. Unfortunately, it happened at 45.79. Let's just look at the top of this. Yeah, right here at the high of the candle, it says that we got it at 45.79. Webull says 45.80. Potatoes. So like I said before, guys, I've said this before. I can't call the exact penny. I can't call the exact dollar increment that we're gonna sell off. I can get close to things, and I'm trying to teach you guys how to be able to do that. Now, momentum traders, day traders, scalpers usually tend to sell off or open short positions slightly below or above a desired target or a target objective, and that's actually smart trading. Because if you're going right by the book and this thing is saying 46.27, and the majority of day traders and whoever else is taking profit and or opening short positions right at this area right here, we're never going to touch that, and you're still going to be stuck on a long position. So knowing that and keeping that as a part of our discretion in trading is very important. Sorry, you guys, if you can hear that. Those are actually my balloons going nuts in the background. Please don't mind them, as I'm not going to go and adjust them right now. Okay, now the second thing we called was after making this pump, we needed to find support at the inverse not 618 golden ratio. So and also what we thought could have been our SMA 10 here. Now the SMA 10 actually ended up moving further than what we implied. But we did end up finding our support at our not 618, like we were saying. Now, the reason why I was able to say that this could be likely our support is because it is an inverse golden ratio, and this is typically a zone where people, day traders, I mean, where the mass sentiment tends to want to take price action too, up or down, Now, our range from the SMA 200 to the 382 to the not 382 is actually serving just as we expected as well. As you can see, the line is well within the range of the not 382. We must be able to take these things into consideration before entering a trade so that we know potential targets for take profit or entry. This is the importance of having these things ready prior to your session, ideally the night before or at pre-market. Now, I actually took another Fibonacci retracement tool right here so that we can see just how well our targets are being met. If you can see, this Fibonacci retracement is based on the range low and our range high that we recently touched at 46 cents or 45.79, whatever that was. So we can see here that our not 236 is confluent with our SMA 100 right over here. And now we have a range of support down here as well. Not to say that we're going to go down there. I'm just telling you that this is how the price action is playing out, and it's playing out pretty nicely. It's following market geometry per se. Also, the new not 382 is right at our top of this support range, which is right where the SMA 200 is and our previous 382 is. So you can see just how everything rhymes pretty well here. Now we have our not 618 serving as a type of resistance, which is absolutely in confluence with our SMA 10. This is our 10-day simple moving average, and you can take a look at the trend line right there. They're right with each other. So this is a tough little range that we may have to trade sideways for before we can see some upside. Okay, but let's go ahead and finish up with this chart and move on to the next. Let's get a bias and direction, and we're going to do that by using our RSI. Before we continue with the RSI, let me go ahead and explain this for the millionth time for the new users now. So we have a typical RSI setup right here. Now, my particular RSI, the ARC RSI, I have scripted it, or I made the code so that I can be able to have it split into two zones. This bottom half being the bearish control zone, this top half being the bullish control zone. Now, you do see a red line and a green line here splitting the halves into halves as well. Now, we have the bearish, this would be a bear weakness percentile. This is bull weakness percentile, bull strength, bear strength. So in case you hear me say things like that, now you know what I mean, and now you know what I'm saying, so you're not lost in translation here. So let's go ahead and start with the immediate term time frame. We have 30-minute RSI suggesting no bias in direction, other than the fact that we are in the shallow areas of the bear weakness percentile, and we could likely come up. Now, the problem is that we are trading below the moving average, and we can use the moving average as a guide to the downside as well. So we do have to keep an eye out for that. Let's look at a micro time frame here. Let's go to 15-minute. 15-minute is also suggesting no bias in direction, so we have to watch out with those things, you guys. I'm not going to go any smaller on those time frames. Let's go up to the bi-hourly RSI and take a look at what's happening. So bi-hourly RSI is currently reversing from oversold highs highs of 85%, and we have currently made a bearish cross. We are now trading below the moving average and within the bullish control zone. The pivot is to the downside, and we are within the shallow area of the bullish control zone, which means that we may be pulled right into bull weakness. Definitely keep that in mind. Let's look at the hourly RSI within this same pane. Okay, so hourly has also made a bearish cross and has entered bull weakness with a downside pivot. We could be looking some immediate short-term downside, at least to mid-session tomorrow. Let's move on. This is our 6-hour RSI, currently retracing from oversold percentile as well. It is still suggesting a downside with its downside pivot here. There is the potential to where we can see upside moves based on the moving average now crossing from bear strength into bear weakness percentile. So this potentially, I'm not saying that this is the actual truth here, but this could potentially find support from from the bull strength percentile here and reject right up to the upside. That may not be what happens, but it looks like it could be. The moving average is giving us a pretty nice hint here. And let's move on to the 12-hour RSI. The 12-hour RSI has some very interesting things for us. We can see that this trend line here that I drew from this low to this higher low signifies a potential. Actually, these are two large drives of bullish divergence. So, and we have also, if you can take a look at here at the signal line, we have also made a bullish cross above the moving average now. And I mean, we're currently, I mean, keep in mind, guys, that I usually don't like to see divergences from the oversold area into bear strength. I usually like to see these divergences up here. But we got to consider it, just so that we can factor it into the probabilities here. So it looks like it's already playing out, and we may actually realize this by end of session or the following session, meaning Monday. So tomorrow or Monday. So ending green for MULN stock tomorrow being Friday would actually be a good statement and a psychological beat for MULN stock. Let's move on to the next chart right here, you guys. Things are not looking so bad at all. Okay, now these are the Crypstex indicators. These are the ARC-Series indicators after me, ARCa. So these indicators are available to you. Make sure to reach out to me on a DM so that you can be able to get your hands on a couple of these. Actually, it would be 8 of them to be exact. And along with you acquiring these indicators, you will also receive the ARC RSI and ARC BBWP alongside them. So the reason why I'm bringing you here is because our enhanced MACD on the 15-minute, we're looking at micro time frame here. We're also getting a bull signal. This is the ARC whale spotter, and we have also gotten a bull signal with that green dot right down there. So we can see money flow index is actually printing some green, and looks like money is coming in. So we may actually see a run. I can't say immediately, other than the fact that enhanced MACD is suggesting an upside right away. But please remember that upside right away is looking at a potential resistance right at the 0.618, the brand new 0.618, along with the 10-day simple moving average. These are I would not suggest entry into MULN stock just yet. I honestly don't get. Please remember, guys, that I'm not a financial advisor. I can't suggest for you to buy or sell any assets. Please take whatever I do say or show you on these charts as a form of entertainment. Do your own DD. But I will just show you what I see. Now, the reason why I'm not suggesting immediate entry is because I honestly would really like to find out what the probabilities are within this critical zone of volatility coming in. I know that this is the 12-hour chart, and we could potentially explode tomorrow, but that would be more of a gamble in my part. Another quick little thing based on price action, raw price action, is that we have printed a 12-hour hammer at the bottom of this trend here. So this could potentially signal a reversal in price action. But with that said, you guys, now you have the targets to look out for. Tomorrow, you know the details. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on Twitter, Discord, or here on YouTube. I'll make sure to leave the links so that you can be able to join the Discord server right below. And that's going to do it for the video, you guys. I'll catch you at the bell tomorrow. Thank you and adios.